Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally here. Today is what? June 5, 2025. So that's like what? We are 5 months away from the end of the 2024-2025 season. There were speculations as to whether or not Aaron Rodgers is going to continue to play in the future, if he's going to be sticking around with the Jets, whether or not he's going to be playing with a different team, whether or not he's going to retire. Well, now, like I said, on June 5th, 2025, finally, Aaron bleeping Rodgers has finally made his decision. I'm going to read it from the top right-hand corner right here. Breaking news. Aaron Rodgers to sign a 1-year deal with the Steelers ahead of next week's minicamp. So, I did not realize that minicamp is actually starting sooner. I thought it was going to be a little bit later than that. I thought it would be like July. No way, I think that's a training camp actually. But, yes, Aaron Rodgers finally made his decision. I mean, I guess it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, at least to me, because take it from a Packers fan myself. This is not the first time to see Aaron Rodgers trying to drag this team or any team throughout the whole offseason. I mean, he did it to my Packers, trying to play them as to whether or not he's going to be sticking around with the Packers. Trust me, I know how that feels. It's annoying. Extremely annoying. So he did that to my Packers. And then I believe he did the same thing with the Jets, like before he got onto the Jets, as to whether or not that he's going to be making his own decision. Take a long time for him to do that. And then, now with the Steelers. Took them a number of months for him to finally make his own decision. And some of his teammates were getting irritated, and I do not blame them one bit. I think Cameron Hayward is one of them. My name, by the way. We got the same first name. Cameron. Anyways, Cameron Hayward was one of those teammates who got extremely annoyed by that. I think there were other defensive players who were getting annoyed that Aaron Rodgers was just dragging this whole thing throughout the whole offseason. So I don't blame him one bit. Not one bit. So I would love to know, what took you so long? What took you so long? Is that like your favorite thing to do now? Have you been hanging around in California too much? You've been going to Hawaii, going to beaches, over there drinking some juices or whatever they got going on over there in Hawaii? Like, what were you doing? What were you doing? Now, another question, since you're talking with the Steelers, how committed are you with the Steelers, Aaron? How committed are you? Because based on what we see from the Jets, now the first year with the Jets you were injured, okay? Okay, that's definitely a pass for you, okay? I never want to see any players getting down with the torn Achilles there, especially anybody. That's hard there to watch. But then you go into the next season, and you didn't even come close to making the playoffs. Nowhere near close to making it into the playoffs. So what are you going to do with the Steelers now? Now, if you ask me that question, that doesn't change anything here for the Steelers. Okay, it really doesn't. Now, I will say he's definitely a better option than Mason Rudolph there, so I will give you that, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be going to the Super Bowl or anything like that. Okay, they're not going to be anywhere close to the Super Bowl. And also, and this is a very hot take there from me, I won't be surprised if they miss the playoffs. Okay, I will not be surprised. Because if he didn't take the New York Jets into the playoffs, why would I believe that he would change anything for the Steelers, but not just make the playoffs? Now, I won't be surprised if they make the playoffs there either. But I also won't be surprised if they miss the playoffs. But even if they do, what's going to change? Because I heard the stat that apparently the Steelers had not won a playoff game since, 2016, 2015? So that's almost a decade since the last time that the Steelers have won a playoff game. They have got into the playoffs, but they haven't won anything. Like, what? Huh? Even with the days of Ben Roethlisberger, his last days being the Pittsburgh Steeler, they still hadn't won a playoff game. That's insane to me. That is absolutely insanity to me. Like I said, it's not going to change anything. Now, it definitely improved the quarterback position, obviously, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be going to the Super Bowl. Definitely not. And if anybody's in here and tells me that the Steelers are somehow going to make the Super Bowl, I would love to know the reasons. I would love to know what reason would make you believe that the Steelers will even come close to sniffing. Okay, sniffing to the Super Bowl. Because besides DK Metcalf, now if you guys remember earlier, they traded away what's his name? Pickens, George Pickens. They traded him away to the Dallas Cowboys, or should I say Cowgirls? Whatever you want to call them. Pickens is on to that different team now. So now Aaron Rodgers is going to be working with DK Metcalf, who's obviously an elite wide receiver. And then they got a very, very aging Robert Woods, who's like, what, in his mid-30s now? I don't know how you can rely on him. And Kelvin Austin, who has some nice moments in there, but to me, he's a number 3 wide receiver at best for any team. He's a number 3 receiver at best. And I don't know what depth do they have behind those 3 guys, so that's an issue there. They got this nice tight end. I know his first name is like Pat, but his last name was way too long to say. I'm not sure if I'm even going to pronounce that. And then you got the running backs, Jay Warren, who's nice. And I think they drafted a running back too, I believe, in this year's draft. I don't remember exactly, but perhaps he might be something for the Steelers. But I just don't see how this is going to elevate the Steelers to win anything. Okay, that's just me. You guys can let me know down in the comments about what you think, where the Steelers are going to be towards next season, because we are actually pretty darn close to the next season. We're in June right now, so August is obviously the preseason games, but then it's September, so we're a couple months away for the NFL season. Definitely looking forward to that. By the way, Green Bay Packers, your 2025 Super Bowl champions. Book it. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, yeah, this Aaron Rodgers signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers doesn't change anything there for me. So yeah, I guess we're gonna see how this is gonna go. See if this will really work out, and see if this will be his last year for Aaron Rodgers of his NFL career. But there's one thing I would like to show y'all. Okay, this is the Steelers schedule. Now, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to let you guys watch this schedule for a minute. And I would like for you guys to let me know, what do you see here on this schedule? I'm going to give you all 10 seconds for it. Alright? Alright, 10 seconds are up. Do you guys know what you're seeing? Because I know what I see. Look at the game that says W8. So that means week 8. Including the other W's as well. That stands for week. But week 8. My team are going to Pittsburgh. We're going to be facing our former quarterback, who used to be our starting quarterback for about 15 years, I believe, since as a starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. I think it's 15 years. I could be wrong on that. But anyway, we're going to be facing Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be on Sunday Night Football. I will tell you, this game is going to be a cinema to help Aaron Rodgers retire. But it still is going to be an immaculate game, because if Aaron Rodgers was not on the Pittsburgh Steelers, we could probably be looking at one of the worst Sunday Night Football games of next year. Not to say that my Packers wouldn't be doing anything bad, because if Aaron Rodgers wasn't there, we would have dominated against the Steelers. Okay, that's just me. But now with Aaron Rodgers on the team, I expect it to be a good one there for Week 8. So definitely going to be marking that game there on my calendar for sure. But there you got Week 1, the Jets, who's Aaron Rodgers' recent team that he's joined. So he's going to be going up against the Jets. It looks like going to be on the road for that one. Perhaps that could be interesting there as well. Aaron Rodgers against his former teammates in New York, just like him facing against his former teammates in Green Bay. Oh, you know what? I think there's actually one last thing that I wanted to see. Alright, this is the last thing that I wanted to see. Saquon Barkley is going to be officially on the Madden cover for Madden 26. What do you guys feel about this? Do you think it's going to be like a Madden curse, just kind of like what happened to Christian McCaffrey on the previous Madden that was made? Madden 25. Obviously, you guys should know what this play is. I mean, Saquon Barkley doing like a backwards hurdle, and I remember that game. It was against the Jaguars. And by the way, is it really appropriate to put a Jaguars player? In fact, I actually don't see a team icon on the helmet right there. I just didn't notice. But I do know that it was a Jaguars player. But is it really that necessary to put him up there trying to embarrass him like that? But hey, I think this is definitely well deserved. That is well deserved. I mean, Saquon Barkley literally had a historic, and I mean a historic season last year. Obviously, he got that Super Bowl ring. Now, I would love to see him break that record, or Eric Dickerson record, but at least the Eagles were able to make it up for him as he finally got himself a Super Bowl ring here on his resume. So that is definitely great for Saquon Barkley. Definitely great. Alright, so I just want to put that out there. But you know what? I wonder if there's like a video. Oh, I think this is the one. This is the one, right? Whoa, that looks like he's in slow-mo. Hold on a second. I want to see this video again. Now, I would be asking why he would be floating like that, because there's no way that a human being should be floating up like this when you're jumping in mid-air. But do they have like some sort of like ropes that would help him like float him up in the air? I forgot what those things are called. But yeah, I just want to get my reaction about this Aaron Rodgers finally making his decision whether or not he decided to retire as an old man or he actually want to play with the football team for once. And also the Saquon Barkley Madden cover too. So if you guys enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, and also please subscribe. And until next time, this is Cam Chillin', and I am signing off. Peace.